Hi everyone, this is Robin, and we are going to talk about how to do a group presentation or an individual presentation using Zoom. So there are basically 5 steps to recording a presentation in Zoom. First of all, you have to be in Zoom. Second, you need to share your screen. Third, you need to start the recording. Fourth, you need to start your slideshow if you're using PowerPoint or some other presentation software. And then finally, you need to do your presentation. And then when you're done with your presentation, you're going to stop sharing and you're going to exit the meeting. And once you do that, Zoom is going to automatically process your video and then show you where it is on your computer. So that's what we're going to do. Before we get started, I do want to show you, you can see here, I actually have my PowerPoint open already. You don't have to have it open before you start Zoom, but I don't know, it just makes sense to me. But here we go. So we are in Zoom, step number 1. Step number 2 is to share the screen. Depending on how your meeting is set up, it might be possible for anyone to share the screen, but for sure the host or anyone who's been given co-hosting responsibilities can start the screen share. Only the host or people who've been given co-hosting responsibilities can start the recording. So for all practical purposes, just think of this as the host's job. So if your menu has disappeared, you just need to move your mouse to the bottom to bring it up again, and we're going to click Share Screen. Now, if you haven't shared a screen before in Zoom, you have several options of what you can share. You'll see in the upper left-hand corner, we can share the entire screen, and that's what we're going to be doing. But you can also share the Zoom whiteboard. You can potentially share an iPhone or an iPad if that's connected to your computer. You can share specific windows. Now, this is something you might want to do when you're presenting. Just do a specific window instead of a whole screen. If you do want to do a specific window, you need to make sure that you go into PowerPoint and change one of your slideshow settings to, I just want to do the slideshow in a specific window. We're going to do the whole screen. So since it's already selected, I'm going to go ahead and click on Share. So now I'm sharing my screen, and you can tell I'm sharing my screen because there's a green bar at the top of my screen that says you are screen sharing. And then there's a little bit of it that's red that is what we're going to click on to stop sharing. Now, underneath this, there is a menu that we can access, but Zoom has it set up so that when we're not using the menu, it disappears, so it's not cluttering up the screen for us. So the way that you bring the menu back is you just mouse up by that green "You are screen sharing" and it shows you the menu. If you move your cursor away, then it disappears the menu for you. But we want to see the menu because we're going to go to More and click on it, and you'll see that the first 2 items are record on this computer and record to the cloud. Now we're going to record on this computer, but I do want to tell you what the advantage is to recording to the cloud. And the advantage is that Zoom does all of it for you. So it saves the video, it uploads the video to the cloud, and it gives you a link that you can use to access it. So it's super easy. We're not doing that. We're going to save it on the computer, and here's why. First of all, I always save my videos on the computer because then I have them. And if I need to use them in the future again for something, I have the video. I know where it is. It's on my computer, as opposed to the link that Zoom gave me, which I might not have anymore. The second reason that we're saving it to the computer is because we are uploading our videos to YouTube. And the reason that we're doing that is primarily because I want to make sure you know how to do that. So in the future, you can upload videos to YouTube if that's something you want to do. And then the third reason that we're recording to this computer is because we might want to do a little bit of editing to this video. Between the time when we start the recording and we start our presentation, there's a few things that are going to be happening that aren't really part of the presentation. So we might want to just clip those off. Same thing at the end of the video. There might be a little bit happening that we want to clip off. Does it matter for this class if we have a little extra at the beginning or a little extra at the end? Of course not. But if you're making videos in the future, maybe for your classes, maybe for some training, it's your organization, then you might want to clip those little bits off just so your video looks a little bit more professional. Those are all the reasons that we're going to be recording onto the computer. So I'm going to go ahead and select record on this computer. So at this point we're recording. How do we know we're recording? Because on this green bar, there's this little teeny flashing red dot that lets us know that we're recording. So the next thing we need to do is start our presentation. And so I'm going to go to my PowerPoint and just click from the beginning. And now we need to present. So I'm going to start my presentation. I'm going to say, hi, everybody. It's the last week this week. Last week we did some stuff. This week we're doing some stuff. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. So once your presentation's over, go ahead and click Stop Share. And then go ahead and end the meeting. And once you do that, you'll see that Zoom lets you know that it's converting the meeting recording. Mine is going very fast because this is a very short video. Yours might be a little longer. And then let me get out of my slideshow here. You'll see down here that I have a new folder that's been opened. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll see that Zoom has created a folder, and it's named it the date, the time, and then my personal meeting room. And in that folder, there are three things. The first is an audio recording, which is in an MP4 format. So that's audio only, but you do get that when you record. The second is a recording that's in a CONF format, which we're not going to use. And the third one is the video, and it's in an MP4 format, and that is the one that we're going to use. You'll see that Zoom has named it video 1594 blah, blah, blah. We probably want to change that to something a little better. So I'm going to change that to Group A Presentation, which is a better name. And then the other thing that I tend to do is I tend to copy this video someplace more obvious to me, like my desktop. Right now, it's on our computer, in our hard drive, in a folder called Zoom, in a folder called 2023, the date, the month. And that's going to be hard for me to find again. So while I have it open, I usually just copy it and put it on my desktop or someplace else more obvious. But at this point, it's a standalone video file. We could double click on this and just play it. All right, so what's next for you now that you have saved this? Well, now that you've saved it, you have to decide what you're going to want to do with it. And for us, we're going to go ahead and upload it to YouTube. Then we're going to take that URL that comes from our YouTube video being uploaded. We're going to paste that into our group document so that everybody has access to the link. So that is how you record your presentation, a group presentation or an individual presentation using Zoom.